Hey y'all. Well, I'm very sorry to say that I have sad news to share. My dad's dog Oakley and our beloved family pet passed away yesterday. Very unexpected for us. He had just turned 5 on November 23rd. He was a great dog. He was a golden doodle, so a poodle golden retriever mix. He was about 80 pounds, huge, had such a big, goofy personality and an attitude, but that's what we loved about him. Oakley always had a sensitive stomach since the time he was born. But with some diet changes, it was manageable. But the past few months, his stomach had been acting up more. My dad had taken him to the vet several times. They had run blood work and all that good stuff. And he seemed okay, just the sensitive stomach acting up. But yesterday morning, Oakley was very lethargic. And he didn't want to go on his morning walk. My dad said he laid down on his favorite spot in the kitchen, went to sleep, and he didn't wake up. So we think there was something more to what was going on with him. We don't know for sure what happened, but we're very sad. At least, it didn't seem like he was suffering though. He went to sleep and that was it. Oakley touched so many lives, y'all. Prior to Harlow, I was training him as my service dog. Unfortunately, he developed some minor arthritis in his back right leg, and he had to be medically retired. But we loved him so much, and he stayed in our family, and he was so wonderful for my father. A few years ago, my dad had a stroke, and Oakley was there for him, not as a working dog per se, but as a companion. My dad was never lonely, and he'd still do some things to help my dad around the house. My dad is hard of hearing, very much so, and Oakley would let him know when somebody was at the door. If my dad dropped something, Oakley would pick it up for him around the house, because after, the stroke, my dad's a little unsteady on his feet, and just having Oakley with him, those two had such an incredible bond. Harlow loved Oakley. I think Oakley was a bit pestered by Harlow sometimes, like big brothers and little sisters do, but everyone loved that dog, including Paul and Janice. Oakley is the one who opened Janice's mind to the prospect of how a service dog could help her, because I had Oakley when she started to become ill, and Paul and Janice were involved in his training, and we were always together, and it really opened her mind. And they were always happy to take Oakley for us if we needed it, like if I was in the hospital or my dad and I were traveling and we couldn't bring Oakley for whatever reason. Paul and Janice always stepped in, and everyone loved that dog. Judd loved that dog. I mean, just everyone. And it's hard. It's heartbreaking. We still don't know what caused it. It's sad. I miss Oakley very much, but one of the hardest things out of all this for me is how devastated my dad must be. Thankfully, my dad will be coming here within a week for the holidays, so he can be with family, and Harlow can hopefully help cheer him up, and my aunt lives with my dad to kind of help him out due to his stroke. So he's not alone, but I'm sure those of y'all who have lost a furry family member can understand. It's rough no matter what. I'm sorry to have to share bad news today, but Oakley was part of the family, and I know y'all are invested in this family. We're all gonna miss him very much. He was a very loved dog, and I've put together some pictures so we can cherish his memories, so I'll let y'all watch that now. be missed terribly. And you know, my family, we're still processing this whole thing. My dad's trying to decide if he wants to pursue it, find out exactly what happened. We have not even discussed the potential of getting another pet. You know, we're just trying to work through these feelings. And we were just with him a week ago. My dad told me he had an upset stomach that morning when we saw him, but Oakley was bubbly and playing with Harlow, and he seemed his happy usual self. Harlow did go to the vet because since we don't know exactly what happened to Oakley, I just wanted to make sure she was okay, because she did recently interact and play with him, and the vet said Harlow was all good. She has been acting her normal self, though I feel that she understands I'm sad, because she's been very like this, just trying to comfort me, I guess. If y'all have ever lost a pet, I'm so sorry, it's rough. But even though this hurts, having them in our life was so worth it. You know, the memories Oakley left us with are valuable. So with that, Harlow and I will say goodbye, and thank you for y'all's support.